It's been tough. And I tell people this every day. When you see me, you see grace. If there are people that are doubting what God can do, look at my life. One of the things that I've noticed in our generation or the industry at large, talent is never enough. Knowledge is powerful. I love to learn. So I always make sure to say, okay, Sui, this is Sui. What can I learn from Sui? Okay, Sui is good in terms of talking. That's probably the skill that he has. Okay, how do I improve myself in such an area? If you can't manage fame, fame will manage you. These guys that you see making noise week in, week out, they make money. And at times when we say certain things, people get upset. But you'll find that probably if one is charging an event for 5,000 kwacha or 4,000 kwacha, as in to MC, by 4 in a month, it's how much?
It's 20.
20. How much do civil servants get paid? Like a teacher, for example. I'm not trying to demean or what, but I'm just...
How is your relationship like with police officers?
The reason why certain people are not growing is because of that element of wanting to be selfish. You need people.
How expensive are you?
It's time for the big conversations, telling stories of movers and shakers, of industry giants and daring professionals. It's time for the conversations that change your perspective on life. The kind of conversations that shape entrepreneurs and move careers forward. If you don't know where these conversations are found, we are sending you a GPS. But if you're listening to this voice right now, you are here. Welcome to the Growth Podcast. This is the GPS.
All right, Road to 100 episodes continues. This is episode number 52. And we have someone in the arts joining us on this week's edition of the podcast. Not the first person in the arts, but an interesting character in the arts. We're talking to Collins, the president. He will tell us a bit about himself and also share with us his growth story. Quite an interesting one. And we're going to delve into that conversation just now. Welcome to the podcast.
You know, it's funny, like you and me, we've met several times, but we've never had such a one-on-one encounter like this.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's here now.
I'm glad to be here.
No, good to be. I told you microphone.
No, I'm sure Mike is just Mike check.
It's good. No, don't worry. It's good.
Okay,
it's
yeah.
good. It's good.
So I'm glad to be here. How are you?
I'm okay, thank you. We have icebreaker questions here. We have got 4 questions.
Okay.
I'll ask you to pick any 3.
Okay.
You read the question and give us an answer. Yes, so we can start a conversation. Any 3. 1. No, 2 more.
2 more?
Yes. 1 more.
All right. How do you imagine you spending your retirement? Farm.
No,
I've always, look, I'll tell you this. In as much as everyone wants to stay in Lusaka, but there's nothing in Lusaka.
Okay.
Apart from social media photos and boasting.
So, where would you like to relocate?
I would love to go and set at a farm.
Okay.
Yeah. But I'll be coming to Lusaka, I know, but...
farmers in kumpika, kasama, pachongo ya papa kafiwe?
Farm is, I'll tell you this. This is a narrative that people have about farm. Farm, you need to have a farm nearby. No, even if it's in Pika, it's farm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's one question. The next one?
The next one, what piece of advice would you give to your younger self if you could? Whoa. That's a good one. What piece of advice would I give myself? If I was the younger version of me, is to serve God to the best of my ability. Not that I'm not serving him now, no, but to serve him to the best of my ability.
There's a room for improvement.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Number 3, the last one?
what dreams do you have for your children and your grandchildren? The dream that I have is simple, and I want them to be raised in a Christianity way, and I want them to have that focus about life, and I want them to achieve more than what I've done.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would you ever want your kids and grandkids to go into comedy?
Yeah. Look, one thing that I'll tell you is this. You can't restrict someone in becoming what they want to. And I feel sometimes it's wrong to choose careers for your children. What if he wants to become a police officer or a doctor? Or what if he wants to take up the same comedy thing? So who am I to say, no, stick to this?
Okay. Where'd you grow up? Where did you grow up?
Lusaka.
You grew up in Lusaka?
Lusaka Garden.
Garden. Have you ever lived outside Lusaka?
No.
If you were to live outside Lusaka, where would you want to go?
If I was
to settle somewhere out of Lusaka?
Out of Lusaka. I think Chongwe.
Chongwe,
it's okay.
Okay. And how was your life growing up?
We don't just become. Okay, we don't just become. I'm coming from a background where you need to push. I've never had a life on a silver platter. I've pushed to be where I am. It's been tough. And I tell people this every day. When you see me, you see grace. If there are people that are doubting what God can do, look at my life. And you'll be able to testify what God can do and what God can change. So I've seen God's grace in my life. I've seen what God can do. I've pushed to be where I am. And I'm happy.
Okay. You're telling me earlier that you did media production.
Yeah.
And then you went into comedy. So did you ever get a chance to practice your media production?
I did, but at the end of the day, I feel the comedy aspect in me is just... Basically, my dream was not even media or anything. My dream was to become a pilot. And this is one thing that my friends laugh about most of the times.
What changed?
Along the way, things do change. I've played football before. No, like football is one thing that I love. I love football so much. I have players like that we used to play together. Some of them, they're playing Nkana. Like there's a player called Lyson Tole. Just to name them but a few. We used to play together. And when we meet up, they laugh at me and say, what changed? I'm sure one of the things that really contributed for me to change from the football to other things, it's where I'm sure we all had that stage in life where parents were all over our neck. You need to pay attention to school. School is everything. School is what? So I feel that was somewhere in grade 7, I had to put a foot down on the other side of life and focus on school. But at the end of the day, I did some media things, but I just feel it's a good thing, yeah, but it requires a lot of time.
Okay.
Yeah, you need to talk of, for example, if you're talking about productions and what, you need to do some proper research, and that needs time. But comedy on the other side, it's been part of me.
When did you realize you could be a comedian? When did you realize, I'm actually funny?
Home. I used to mimic dad.
Okay.
Yeah. I used to mimic him when he's not around. You are seated in the sitting room and you take charge. And you become like him. And one day he was behind me and I was busy talking.
And how did that end for you?
No, he didn't say anything. There are those situations, like our parents were back just saying, Nichamba. And it ends there. But in school, I was at Thornpark Basic School. Back in the days, we had opportunities where we had shows like VAT shows here and there. So I when we were in class, I would imitate Taitu. The time that when Smile was at peak,
Yeah.
Taitu, Kaunda, then it grew just like that.
Okay. In the early days, how was it like just getting recognition? Because today it's different, and like not that anyone can just go into comedy, but now you've got social media. You know, you can just start and we're trending.
Like for some of us who are built on stage, personally myself, I would say everything started in church. We used to do sketches in church. I'm Baptist. Okay, we used to perform sketches in church. Then it's so different. Like nowadays, I feel the word comedy is broad, and there is what we call content creators, stand-up comedians, and the people that can act comedy roles very well. They're funny. So I feel this generation is lucky in the sense that there's we are into the digital space of things, and someone anytime, any day, they can just get their phone, record a video, post it on TikTok, and they'll have numbers. Okay. But in our time, it was different in the sense that I joined a group called Cow, Comedy on Wednesday, which was being led by Chiwe Katebe. Back in the days, Chiwe, the likes of Teddy T, the likes of, we had Bwana, we had people like, what's the name again? Malunga, the one who was in Soweto, the Diwan. So, MC Wabwino. So, in our days, we had a show at Lusaka Playhouse called Cow, Comedy on Wednesday, where we used to have shows every Wednesday. So I was given that opportunity. The person that fetched me from where I was an extra in Kabanana. So we're working with Teddy T and Lee Nonde, Washi Robbie. So yes. Yeah, so there were times when you're during lunch, you'd do this and that, and Teddy would observe and say, okay, fine, you can perform. So he invited me over to Lusaka Playhouse, and I was given, there was a session they used to call the open mic session, where you perform as an upcoming. Then I did that, and they loved it, and that's when I became part and parcel of a team. We had Michael Malambo, the one who was dancing salsa back in the days. So I was given that opportunity to perform, and I became part of a team. And just like that, every day it's a learning phase. I met with Bob, I met with the legends, the Ozias Kaundrabanda, the late Brighton Sinkala, Shike Mwisho, the Chiwe Katebe, these are the Dangerous Jobek. These are the people that nurtured me. Okay. Yeah.
Was there any point where you doubted your future in comedy? Like maybe you go to an event on Aseke?
I would say this. Every journey has you need to have hiccups. Every journey has there are certain things that you need to encounter. We don't just become. Okay. You'd attend, because it's always a learning phase. You'd go to an event, you'd do this and that. Yes, you'd feel like, yeah, I'm there, but you'd even tell yourself, fine, I need to improve in such and such an area. So for some of us, I'd say we had a privilege in the sense that the likes of Chiwe, when they're having a wedding, you'd go and sit in the audience and see what he's doing. So when the time comes for you to host an event, you have an idea. But you only get better at certain things when you're doing them often. So with time, you get to improve.
Okay. And in your journey in comedy, who you've mentioned Chiwe Katebe, but apart from him, who else was there to hold your hand? Because obviously for you it was a new field, it's a new area. You are a guy. People don't know you. How did you use people that were known or established to try and like have them hold you by the hand and grow with you?
Sui, I'll tell you this. I feel one of the things that I've noticed in our generation or the industry at large, talent is never enough. knowledge is powerful. You may be talented, you may be good here and there, but trust me, you need people that have been there. Okay. Chiwekatwe took me like a brother. I've had people like Terry T. There are those people you just met in this life, they'll just take you as family. And time and again, when you sit, they'll be telling you, no, we do this. So coming to that question is, I'm one kind of a person. I don't just put myself where I'm not going to learn anything. I love to learn. So I always make sure to say, okay, Sui, this is Sui. What can I learn from Sui? Okay, Sui is good in terms of talking. That's probably the skill that he has. Okay, how do I improve myself in such an area? I've seen people, I'll tell you this. You've seen the way Congolese artists are able to survive generations and generations.
Yeah.
They're coming from somewhere. There's an aspect of being nurtured in the Congolese setup of things. You'd see Fally Ipupa is coming from Kofi. You'd see Werrason is coming from what? There's an aspect of being nurtured, even to a point where you want to stand on your 2 feet. You are strong enough to take whatever comes your way. And I feel at some point in this era that we have, that is one part that is lacking in some of them. Okay, knowledge is never enough. If you can't manage fame, fame will manage you. You don't reach before you arrive.
What goes on in your mind? For example, someone calls you and says, "Why don't you come and MC this wedding?" How do you prepare for that?
How do I prepare? For me,
or you're just a legend, so you just show up.
Yeah, there is a legend part, but I'll tell you. Sometimes the basic questions that I ask: okay, what tribe are we expecting? Age group and so forth, because that helps you to prepare the kind of jokes you're going to tell. But for me personally, I would say this: I use what is there. Okay.
Yeah.
I use what is there. I don't sit and start writing things. No. Where jokes are concerned. I would just sit and observe and use what is there. You need to be creative. There are times, I'll tell you this, you may prepare for something, you sit down, you dot down your material, everything, then you go there, you hammer, it doesn't work. What happens? And probably you have 30 more minutes to go. So as an artist, you need to be creative enough. It's not everything that yes, you may have an idea to say, okay, fine, this is what is making sense. If I hammer this and this, probably to make sense. But all in all, you need to be creative.
Creativity. I know you mentioned that when you're growing up, your parents insisted on education. Mm-hmm. There are some young people in your industry who are seemingly on the rise. Mm-hmm. And then you begin to think, I can sustain my life on this comedy alone. I don't think I need school. Mm-hmm. I'll just do comedy. Mm-hmm. I don't need to go to school, what and what. Do you feel that's the right way of approaching things?
To respond to that, let me say, school is very important. Trust me. Take it or leave it. There are things to do with. Email us your quotation. Write us your quotation. So school comes to play in a lot of things. And take it or leave it, you need to improve yourself academically at any given point. So where it comes to, there are people, again, on the other side of life that there's just talent. Okay, then comes the aspect of management. Okay, fine, this guy has talent, but Kaskuru, no, let's try to help out. But all in all, as just a person, you need to improve. It's important to balance the two. Trust me, at a level where we are now, talent is able to keep you. These guys that you see making noise week in, week out, they make money. And at times when we say certain things, people get upset. But you'll find that probably if one is charging an event for 5,000 kwacha or 4,000 kwacha, as in to MC, by 4 in a month, it's how much?
It's 20.
20. How much do civil servants get paid? Like a teacher, for example. I'm not trying to demean or what, but I'm just trying to shed light. People, sometimes they don't understand. There's a perception that certain people have about artists. You understand? No. It's work. I feel we are slowly moving from that aspect of, no, I feel there's a business aspect that has come in. That's why you see most of the times these artists, when they're they're doing their videos, there's no, do what, get a promo code, what. There's an aspect of where the branding aspect comes in, the companies are jumping on board here and there. So it's business at the end of the day.
Here is an interesting fact. With Best Life Insurance, 315 kwacha per year is all you pay to insure a family of 6. This is an eye care insurance cover that has benefits of up to 18,500 kwacha per policy. For more information, visit info@bestlifezambialimited.co.zm. Have you ever had to say no to an event because you don't believe in them or something?
Event? Yeah, I do. I feel sometimes it's about you need to know your worth. I've turned down some businesses before or shows. It's normal and it's healthy. If you don't put value to your name, no one will.
I want to talk about your characters. I don't see Vamuin anymore.
Huh?
Hey, I don't see him anymore. What happened?
I feel with time it's an issue of
Vaking,
yeah. I feel with time it's an issue of time on our side as a team. As Fanike Media, it's an issue of time. There's Bwana, there's with time things change. It's a very good character. I love that character, trust me. But with time, we did the relaunch at some point, and I'm sure we are going to have him back, because that's one request that I do have almost on a daily basis from people. Bring back the king. But everything is on the table. So I'm sure any day from now or any time soon, you'll be able to see more videos of the king.
How many videos do you produce in a week?
I'm sure if you do follow me closely, I don't just talk about any issues. I don't just wake up and comment or make videos anyhow. I look at the magnitude of a video, of a content, like a situation. I'm a senior citizen. So I don't just wake up and talk, no, this and that, though we're fighting. No. Those are petty issues. I talk about things that I know they are going to transform people's lives, things that are going to change someone's thinking about certain things. I love to, it's about educate, entertain, and inform. So if I'm going to talk about, for example, the issue of vending today, I need to highlight why probably the government has made that move. Okay, the benefits of that move, but in a comical way. Again, the impact again on the other side of life, the vendors, what they're going through at the moment, probably people got loans and so forth. So you need to balance. I talk about things that I know when I speak, they'll be of weight, not just anything. No, cheat. No, I'm a senior citizen.
And where'd you get the idea for Bwana Njombe?
Hey, Like this is a question that people many times I fail to answer that question. But basically, we were filming a production called Patilo. There was a production we were doing called Patilo way back in Roma. So that's the day Bwana Njombe was born. It's a day when we got to release the video of there's that video that went viral for Raf Kaida. Yeah! Yeah. That's the day that Bwana Njombe was born. So we had to sit down and say, fine. Because back in the days, people knew me on the part of Arabi, mimicking the heads of states, the former, the current, and what, the mimicking aspect. So we had to sit down and say, we need to be creative enough. Okay. So we looked at the police, for example. There's so much humor. So we said, okay, fine, let's go for this. So we had to sit and look at the names. We were thinking of the names. So there was Bwana Songiso, Bwana Wafarai. There are funny names, police, to be honest. Bwana Wafarai, Bwana Waskapizia, Bwana Wamkerebai. Because I feel majority of the offices that we have is Tonga Southern. Yes, we do have Bembas, Easterners, but in most cases, I feel the part of the accent comes in where Iwe, Atibwanjap, and I feel there's that part of that. So, but all in all, we had to settle for Njombe.
How is your relationship like with police officers?
Very good. Very good. They are my workmates.
Do you ever get out of, a misdemeanor? Maybe, I don't know, motorcar tax because they see you, they let you go?
I'm a very responsible citizen.
No.
I'm a very responsible citizen. That times, probably not getting away, but sometimes maybe you zap it my traffic lights, and I have to do what everyone is doing.
What's that?
If you break the law, what happens? What, you want me to be a sacred cow because I'm... Because in mshirikari?
You've never seen those guys. Some of those guys just put kasote chepa motoka pa dashboard.
That's news to me. We are very professional people.
But also with the Arabic, because I think the Arabic is what really brought you on the scene.
Yeah.
I remember those. What was that video? Yeah, there's that one at obviously it was in Mwana Wanyoko, but that Ndeke, remember those days?
Manon.
Yes. Did you ever get a chance to have a conversation with the former president?
He was my good friend.
You used to talk on the phone?
Not on the phone, but I used to go that side to his place.
And how did you feel about your comedy?
He loved it. Look, I'll tell you this. For me, there's that humor part that Arabi had about things. He was a very good diplomat. He had that humor aspect about things. There was one time that I laughed. I had visited him. The time was staying is it Mpundu Trust?
Yes.
So we sat. Then when I got that side, I found him in a meeting. So he was talking to should be former ambassador or something. So when he saw me, I had to stay back. I said, oh, fine, he's in a meeting, I'll wait. Then he said, no, wait. Then I sat down. They said, was he, Baba? Then I said, no, Aven's ambassador.
As ambassador Chan?
So there was just that humor aspect about him. And trust me, even when you sit with him, he would just... He was one person that would just sit and tell you, say, okay, fine, life is like this, like that. As a young person, don't take like that. Even it should be the week or some tweaks or so before he died, I had a privilege to attend the birthday party. I was invited. It was me and Peterson, I'm sure, just the two of us. And we had a good time. Not knowing to say it's the last time we're seeing him. But all in all, he was a very good person. And may he so continue to rest in peace.
Wow. In comedy, who are you closest to in the industry right now?
I'm a friend to everyone. Okay. I don't put barriers to who I should who I'm close with or what. No. Because by me saying that, for example, if I'm going to say, okay, fine, I'm close to Winston, is my good friend. Others will take it to say, But all in all, I'm friends to everyone. But yeah, there are people that you're close with. But most of the times I'm found with Braji.
Okay, and how did you meet him?
I don't even remember. I can't remember, but I feel we just clicked.
How many years would you say that was?
Should be. Is it 7? Is it 7, 8? 10?
10. It's 10 years.
Is it 10 or what? 9.
Is it
9 years, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how do you keep a professional relationship like that? Because he's your manager, right?
We are friends above everything. And it's that friendship that has jumped from friendship to family.
Okay.
It gets to a point where you need to differentiate. When he's dealing with Collins, we are friends. It's family. But when he's dealing with Njombe, it's business.
For other artists, and from what I know, is that some people don't believe in managers so much because they think as I want to do everything themselves. Or even if you have a manager just on paper that you have a manager, but you find deals when they call someone calls you, do you then refer them to the manager or you just negotiate with them on Veran and then you move?
No, I don't handle anything in terms of business-wise. We have roles. It's a company. It's Fanike Media. We have roles. My business is to go to an event and perform. His business is to handle the business aspect.
And that's worked well for you?
Eh?
And that's worked very well for you?
Very well. So let me tell you this. In as much as there's what you've talked about, what you just mentioned, the issue of no managers, what money. Look, sometimes I'll tell you this. The reason why certain people are not growing is because of that element of wanting to be selfish. You need people. For you to be blessed, you need men. What you need is people. And in this life, no man is an island. We need each other. So there's a way me and Braji we've gelled, and it works to our advantage in whatever we do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your future. Where do you see yourself?
I see myself on a ballot paper. 2026, you're incoming president. No, but where I see my future is I want to push more. Okay. Probably sooner or later we may jump on a promotion side of things in terms of shows, bringing international comedians and so forth. But all in all, what I want is to help as much as a lot of people as much as I can, a lot of upcoming comedians.
Okay.
So I would love to see where you say, how do you see your future? I would love to see a future where I sit and look and say, okay, fine, we have 10 of these people. They pass through these hands. And that would make me very happy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your financial future, if you were to do comedy alone, do you feel you will be comfortable? If from now until the time you're 55 or 65, just comment.
Yeah, but again, on the other side of life, you don't put my egg in basket in Moz. You need to look at other.
Join our police.
No, politics, no.
No police.
No, I can't. I can't. Probably just to do business on the other side of life.
Okay.
Yeah.
What kind of doors open for you just by being famous?
That's a very good question. I'll tell you this. The biggest or the greatest door that can ever open for you in this life is networking. In whatever opportunity you're going to get, you need network. It's about what someone is going to talk about you. Networking is very important. And if there's one thing that I always try my level best on each and every given day to invest in is networking. You never go wrong.
Okay. And also in terms of for like you said, Fanike Media is a business. Bwana Njombe is a business. Mwine, Waking, all of that is a business. How is the customer care different for your kind of like environment, like comedy, for example? Because you've heard those things. No, that one is rude. He'll come. There are some we've heard people know he's been paid, doesn't show up.
The next customer is seated in the audience that you're going to perform. Always know that. And one thing that I'll tell you is that the biggest marketing element is the word of mouth, is the mouth. What someone says about you so matters. It's about what someone is going to speak about you. We get recommended because of the works that we've done. We can't even remember. But because of how you conducted yourself, someone will just say, call that one. You'll never go wrong. We've gotten deals where some big people, I won't mention names, he was booked for an event somewhere and he didn't show up. And we were called at the last minute. And we had a wedding that day. And they said, fine. What time is your event? We said, no, it's 14. What time is your event? No, it's in the evening. They said, no, wait. And trust me, that event opened up doors for us. We've had several events because of that one particular event. To a point that even when I meet Mr. Banda today, the things he talks about, even when he meets with other people, where the corporate events or what, you just tell them that, get this guy. He's professional. He will come. So the customer service in business is important. And this is one part I feel a lot of people miss it. The next client is connected to that client that has booked you for that event. So make sure you do whatever you can possible to fulfill your obligation as an artist. I've seen people where people complain, no, he came to the event drunk, he came late, he came what? So at the end of the day, yes, probably maybe if I've gone late, I'll tell you. And I'm sure one event that we went late, it was an event where we even told them to say, we have an event. Then they insisted on saying, we want you come. Then we said, no, what we don't want, it's an issue of a reputation at the end of the day. Then they insisted. Then we went late. Yes, we were late. Not as late, but they waited for me. We started the event and we finished. And it was a very good event.
Have you ever had an event where they call you and say, we want you to come for this event, but you feel like the person who would do better at this event maybe Winston, and you tell them, no, I think that guy would do better for you. I don't think this is the kind of...
Recommendations are very important. And at times, probably they would book you. You have an event somewhere, then you just tell them, no, I can't manage. But every client has that touch they want. So when they call you, they would even tell you, we want you. So there are times, yes, they would say, we wanted you and done. Probably there are times I've worked with Winston. There are times I've worked with Ken. So they would tell you, brother. Then you tell them, no, get the two of us. We have no problem. If you can manage. And it has worked.
How expensive are you?
I'm not expensive, so to say. I just know my worth.
Why I'm asking is because there are some people who would want you, but they don't even bother reaching out because I was like, no dude.
No. I'll tell you this. I'm not expensive, as people may put it or think. I'm just that person that knows it's a company. We know the worth of the character and we know what we can do. Sometimes there are times we've taught people to say, delivering is not a problem on our side.
Yeah.
We know what we can do. So that's how we work.
Okay. I saw there was one time you are mimicking former Minister of Information Chimbaka Mbwidi in the sales and whatnot. Are you now trying to branch into other characters?
I can say I can mimic it. So long I just pay attention to someone, I'm able to mimic them.
You've been with me for like 30 minutes.
No. No. But I can. You know, like in your tone, there's, I'll say this. We have more like vocal cords on our...
Yeah.
You have a very deep voice. If you are to pay attention to the way Givenwinder speaks, Dr. Kenneth Kaunda speaks, you know that there's that similar part. What have we done for the people of Kawata? We have seen the way they are pursuing me, what and what. And when you listen to Keke, there's that tone of giving. So we have vocal cords.
Apart from the late Arabi, who can you mimic the best?
A lot of them.
Now, who would you say like, okay, but ni makwapula character?
Look, the way I work, for example, if I want to mimic you, or if say I want to mimic TB Joshua, I do take my time. There are things that are in me. It's something that is in me that I can wake up at any given point and say, fine, we want you to mimic our FTJ. I'll just say, okay, fine. Everything that God is doing is for a reason. Many times, a lot of Christians, they pray. They don't see results. They get upset. But the book of Ecclesiastes say everything under the sun, it has time. Don't stop praying, continue praying.
Yeah, that is true, Joshua. Have you ever tried the president?
Bali, no.
Why not?
I feel that look, I'll tell you this. I'm able to mimic ECL. Okay. There are times you don't need to be selfish.
Get everyone.
No. I'll tell you this. You don't need to be selfish. The time that ECL came on board, on scene, okay, I was able to mimic him. Winston came. Then I said, okay, fine. Let me draw back. I was in the process of start working towards Buddy. Then there's the Buddy character. The
junior Buddy.
Yes, came. Then I said, no, fine. Let me focus on other things. You don't need to be selfish. The cake is too big. You can't be all over. You understand?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't be all over.
How are you positioning yourself for more of like the corporates, so that you are like top of mind when you think about someone that want to get you? Because I'll give you an example, like the police officer. Do you ever get people who are scared because you may say something controversial at the event?
I do get corporate businesses very well. One thing that I'll tell you is you need to be profession. You need to be profession. There's one thing that I mentioned in my preamble. I said sometimes you need to question them. So what type of event is this? Who are you expecting? Okay. Who is what? Who is what? So that helps you to prepare on the type of material or the type of things that you're going to talk about. I've had situations where someone would call me saying, you understand that?
Yeah.
So mind your language, Bwana sakamba pavaso. But I'll tell you this. I've performed before the head of states before. Okay. I've performed before the head of states. I've performed before for RB, ECL. I've performed where the current president was the guest of honor at the wedding for the daughter of former Lusaka. Is it provincial minister? Obvious Malitita.
Yeah.
Yes, I've performed there. So there are times people would come in and, there are people that wants to think they know better than you. But one thing they forget is that that's your office. And you know what is to be done and what not to be done. There are certain jokes that don't sit well, probably on the political side of things.
Yeah.
Okay. You can go to an event, for example, which is a government event. Then I go and talk about Unga Adula. You get. But if I was to go to an event, if I got probably to an event of the opposition, I'm being hired by opposition function, for example, they certifying we need your services as an MC. Then I go on and talk about okay, ndipo mandi unga wadula mandi. Automatically they are going to clap because that's one thing that they want to hear. So trust me, it's not about what they want to hear, but you need to be professional.
Is your village banking group having problems to raise money in the event that one of your members has a funeral? Don't worry, because Best Life Insurance Zambia Limited is offering insurance cover of 50 kwacha per month per member for a benefit of 12,500 kwacha. For more information, email info@bestlifezambia.co.zm. Okay. The other thing I wanted to ask you is the comedians we have now, the ones that are coming up. What mistakes do you see some of them making that you feel could really, damage their future in the industry?
Let me say this openly. Talent is there. There's a high potential of talent that we have on our disposal at the moment. But I feel in some of them the aspect of discipline. How you conduct yourself in public, it's everything. I've had reports where someone is calling you chite, aliku no, you understand? The way he's behaving is what. We mzinkala kona opansi wafana muzikamba kona vefi. You get. Then I've had situations where you'd sit down with someone and you're trying to offer that counsel as a brother. Some of them, they may think as if you're talking from a point of jealousy. Trust me, how you conduct yourself, so it's very important. I've seen, I won't mention names, I've seen people losing deals because of the way they conduct themselves in public or somewhere else, or just the way they conduct themselves. You'd have a very good deal on the table and someone would just say, that one, the attitude, the way he conducts himself, no. For our brand, that's not good. So for me, I feel, I always say this, and talent is never enough. Knowledge is important. All these people that we see, so we talk of the Messi, the Ronaldo, the Watt, the Trevor, they have people that sit them down and tell them, say, fine, yes, there's this event, you can't go. For the sake of what and what. Okay, you are going to party, but behave in such a way. No, not that they don't have such side of life away from what we see. They have, but it's how they discipline themselves. And you can't tell. Probably they do have worse scandals than what we can see, but the aspect of discipline. Trust me, discipline is important in life. Discipline is very important. I've seen even in the football aspect, our very own players, with their talents that when you sit down and look at today and say, this talent by now. But because of the aspect of discipline, it's the same applies with comedy. Any other talent, you need discipline. No matter how talented you are, you need discipline. Yes, these talents, they come with a lot of temptations, but what you need is discipline.
Okay, I forgot to ask a question earlier. In terms of where you performed and whatnot, have you ever performed at the Zambia Police annual ball?
That's a home ground.
And how was it? How was it like?
The one I've said is a home ground. It's the same as you take me home and say, is this your wife? It's a home ground sort of arrangement. I do enjoy myself.
Like no one comes to you, no, boss, what do you call it?
No. Boss when I'm the boss. Come on. I'm a 5-star police officer. Not general. 5-star police. Not those stars that you saw. I'm a 5-star police officer. I do enjoy myself. It's always great.
Okay, you go every year?
Almost every year, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Necessarily, it's not even Zambia police, but the whole defense. Zdenis Army.
Yeah, no, sometimes someone told me there was one of the comedians who was banned from those Zambia Army ones. I don't know what he said.
I know the person, but it's fine. It's fine. We may proceed.
Okay. The other thing I wanted to find out from you is you got married recently.
Mm-hmm.
How is marriage like?
Mm-hmm. Marriage is fine. Very fine. Very fine. It's fun.
It's fun?
Yeah.
Okay. How did you meet Madame? Was a audience, some wedding? I mean,
no. Far from that. We met Moenda Mamino.
Oh.
Sinzakamba.
But also, the thing I wanted to ask you is, have you ever been disrespected by people because they think, just a comedian?
That happens most of the times. And you look, every profession has that. And you need to be tolerant. Okay. There are times people would want to deny Collins to have fun. They want Njombe to be everywhere. And that has been a struggle for some time. You'd go to an event you want to attend and watch, and someone will say, you understand? So it's normal. But sometimes what's bad, it's an issue of where someone who is very young. Nanda said there's a part of tolerance. You need to try. Look, unasifaka weka pamtanda. So there are things that you can't control. There are things that are out of my control. But what I need to do is to manage the situation. I've been in situations where you're with Madame, then someone just come, then they realize, oh, hi, how are you? I was asking if I can take a selfie with him. So it's normal. Now you need to manage. And above everything, you need to have a partner who is mature enough. Someone who understands to say, okay, this is the kind of person I'm with, and this is the other side of life. I need to understand.
Okay. What kind of experience have you had with people younger than you? Like young ones, kids, something?
Kanjombe yako. Kanjombe.
In comedy, how do you measure success?
Beating your previous works. The biggest competitor you have, so is you. By getting better every day, that is success for me. Success can be defined in a lot of ways, but for me personally, I feel improving on yourself beating your previous works, improving on yourself, I think that's success for me. The biggest, look, there's that mindset to say, I'm better than, no, you're not better than anyone. We are all unique in our own different ways. Yomaps is unique in his own way. Chidewan is unique in his own way. B-Flow is unique in Peterson. Everyone, we are all unique. We are all different from each other. And no wonder when people, they want to book you, they'll say, we want, because they know what they'll get from you. So for me, I feel we are all unique. We are not in a competition with anyone. Trust me. If there are people that think they're in a competition with anyone, they are wasting their time. The best thing you need to do is to beat your works. Improve on yourself.
Okay. Before I say we close the podcast, is there a question that you wanted me to ask you that I haven't asked you?
No.
Okay, good. So my last question...
None of the above.
My last question is, what are the 5 things you'd like to say to young people in comedy? 5 things, advice you'd like to give them.
5 things. First and foremost, we don't just become. It's a process. And this is one part I feel a lot of people are missing. Not just in comedy, but life in general. We don't just become. Everything is a process. Everything is a process. I'll give you an example. The children of Israel, that journey was a very short journey. But Vanala under for years, and it was for certain purposes that God wanted to achieve. Okay. So there are certain things, they don't happen overnight. Unless you understand? But things that I know are normal and are from above, they don't happen overnight. It's a process. Never give up is the name of a game. When you fail, you need to go again. That's the only way you show to say you're strong. And that's success on the other side of life. You fail, you go again. I've seen people where today they start this thing, it fails, they give up. No, you don't give up. We've had situations when we came up with the Njombe character, people, what is this? You understand? What is this? And back in the days, probably we were the first one to do videos on Facebook. So it was a new idea, a new thing to someone who is used probably watching my sketchy, my stand-up comedy on stage. Now they see things on online. What is this? But with time, there are things you need to force on people, like an idea. So things don't happen overnight. It's a process. Never give up is the name of the game. Stay disciplined and stay humble. One thing that kills a lot of people is the level of arrogance that they have. Some of you have that, where you have that opportunity to learn from someone, but because of the levels of arrogance, you think what I said, you reach before you arrive. These legends that you see, Sui, they know a lot about the industry. Today I'll tell you, get Bob, put him on stage. Or Chiwe, or Teddy, or mention these guys. Yes, there's social media, there's what, but the way they are going to deliver the punchlines in terms of stand-up comedy, you'd see that it's a case of by far with some of the comedians that we have. Okay, so you never, one thing that I've seen that people make a mistake is you don't want to learn. Learning is very important. Always, there are 2 things that you need to leave a room for in this life: advice and learning. Even if you won't take that advice, like making it to use, but never stop learning and getting advice. There are times I've had people coming to me and advising me on things that I know. But you sit and listen. So, most importantly, always put Jesus on the center of things. You'll never go wrong.
Thank you, Bwana Njombe. I have one last question, actually, I forgot to ask. China Yumapo, Like no one's calling you Chishe Z.
Time ya COVID. Chapa chayuma. Mramba tu mina napo mafoni meka artist ati. Bweron perform record repeat. I feel that was a big wake-up call. Not just on the comedy aspect, but world at large, where business is concerned. That was a very big wake-up call. Say like, what if Chikanga? That was the time where my grant agency achani.
Oh, my youth empowerment.
Yana boya leader artist katiza mfana njala. Chipani cha bwacha kambada. So it's been a pleasure talking to you, Sui.
No, Collins, you've been a good sport. Thank you very much for the conversation. So what should we look forward to now?
What we should look forward to, it's great things. We are there's one thing that we are working on, but I won't be able to.
Obviously.
Yeah, for certain, it's copyrights. Copyrights, it's very important. Because in Zambia, one thing that I'll tell you, when you share an idea, the next thing you see it, it's sort of.
Yeah, and someone will do it very badly. And then
there's too much copy and paste.
So you share your idea, someone do it very badly. The day you did very well, not Bakorins.
I've had situations, if I was to point out on the things that I've created myself, you'd be shocked. And I wouldn't want to. It's fine. Nile safi.
Anyway.
No, share your plan, Kairi. We see how we are going to. Next to double artist winner. One better concept yaba king. I won't mention the company. But it's fine. It shows to say I'm thinking.
Yeah, it shows your ideas are good enough.
Thank you, Sui. See you. So it's been Sui. See you next time.
I don't talk like that. Go back. Go back.
Aye, no, me, I can't imitate you. Go back. I'm MD Ballast.